Hey, it's the New Year's, right? It's the Hello, target individuals like to call blessed and highly favored. It's your boy Judah J, coming to you on not New Year's. This is the fake New Year's. Actually, the real New. This is actually the winter solstice New Year's that was created by the Romans when they changed the seasons and times. The Hebrew New Year starts in the month of ABIB. That's the first month, and also. What you have to know about this time period that we celebrate as the New Year's is actually the worship of a pagan deity called Janus, or the worship of the stars, Sirius. So do check on that. The planet, star system, Sirius is the worship of that star system, Sirius. A time to look back and a time to look forward, sort of thing, and that's what we do for the New Year's. We've been deceived to believe that we're supposed to try to change everything that happened in the past and look forward to some bright future, but that goes back to the worship of that deity, Janus, Janus, I think, and that's where January comes from. So all these months have just something, they're tied to a deity worship, and so you need to know that. So the real Hebrew New Year's, like I said, is actually in the springtime. That's why they say April Fools, because they're actually trying to mock us by putting it right in our face that there's something special about this month, but you don't know what it is. April Fools, this is the real New Year's Day. But because that's what they do. They try to mock us. They put the truth out there in plain sight, so that we don't really. But because we're not studying, because we don't know, we just take pretty much the masses just accept everything that they say is the truth, and we don't do our studying, so they can pass it over on us. Put their signs and their symbols out on the television, in the movies, and all storefronts. You got like the Taco Bell sign. You got the little eyeball with the little. It's demonic, the beast, and all that stuff. You got people putting like chemtrails like that. Check that out. People, and it happens everywhere around where I live. Just countless, just lines all over the sky. So they do these things because they don't think we know. But now they know, because everything that they show us on purpose to prepare us for like the things that they're going to do in the future. So, but back to that Hebrew calendar I was telling you about. So it's the New Year starts in the spring, and the ENOCHIAN calendar. Go check that out. Do some study on that. That is the real calendar that we're supposed to be using. It follows the cycle of the sun. It doesn't follow the cycle of the moon like the Gregorian calendar, which is this new Roman calendar that we're using right now, that we've been using since like probably the 16th century. But when you follow the cycle of the sun, which is what the Enochian calendar did, it has a 364-day cycle, which is a perfect cycle, which means that you have 30, 30, 31. That's the cycle for each season. So fall, you have 3 months, 30 days, 31, and then after that 31, that 31 days, it goes back to 30, 30, 31, 30, 30, 31. So at the end of the year, you have 4 days extra, which are the holy days, and those are the days that, of course, like Passover, the Festival of Lights, things as such, the leavened bread, all this. So you have it was set up to be that way in the scriptures, so that heaven would be in connection with earth. So as they are, have you heard in the scriptures it talks about on earth as it is in heaven? So in heaven they were celebrating the holy days, and on earth you were celebrating the holy days at the same time. So there was like a union between the Most High God and His creation, and so it was easier for the children of Israel to be able to have that connection, to get understanding from the Most High God. He would speak to them, and it would be more of a union. It would be stronger because everything was happening in unison on earth as it is in heaven. But now, since they switched the times, that's the reason why they switched the times, the Romans, because the real reason, the esoteric reason, is to stop that union, that power that was coming from the Most High God to His creation, because they worship another God. Now, the reason why, the reason why people can pass over things as targeted individuals, it's like you wonder why they can see you, why they know everything you're doing. You don't want to wrap your mind around this next thing I'm going to say, because it sort of takes the control out of your mind. It takes the control out of your hand. You want to believe that's technological, because if it's technological, then you can get something technological also to counteract it. You can do something about you can change what's going on in your situation. But if it's spiritual, you're like, how am I going to get anything that's going to change something that's spiritual? I don't understand spiritual principles. So why am I, if I accept that this whole thing is spiritual, then that's just something way beyond my ability to understand. I can't comprehend it, so I lose control. I'm telling you right now, it's spiritual. They use familiar spirits. The people that they get to do the targeting, these perps, they do rituals. They're in connection with that satanic spirit, that satanic energy, if you want to say that they conjure up. They do astral projection. They do stuff that allows them to be vessels for familiar spirits that come from Satan's kingdom, so they can see where you're going. They can be in their room doing some ritual, doing some sort of seance or whatever, trying to put spells and curses on you. That's what they do when they get higher up into that whole society. That's what they do, and they get power. They get power on earth. They get it through wealth. They get it through physical thing. I mean, they can make them feel euphoria. They can make them. They can give them wealth. They can give them prestige. They can give them anything as long as they do what they want. It's like Christ going up to the mountain, and then Satan tried to tempt him. He said, I'll give you everything in the world if you just bow down. That's what they do for these people. These people that decide to become these perps, to become these people that target innocent people just to torment them. Because a normal man wouldn't want to do anything like that to hurt his brother. This is a spiritual thing, but they also have weapons too. And they get these weapons through angel technology, the fallen angel technology. Their fallen angels can transform into anything. They have that power. So when you seen those like rockets and everything that was going on a couple of days in California and also in Japan, you know, that was not just rockets. That was a demonic type spiritual thing they were doing. It's tied to the esoteric thing that meaning they want to tie it to is Project Bluebeam, something that's technological, something that we can understand can be created with our own mindset. But this thing also had a demonic spiritual aspect to it too, because it was showing us something that is occurring in our world, which is change. They are changing our world. They are moving this and pushing this along. I believe that the Most High God is in control of everything, so He knows everything they're doing, and they can't do nothing without Him saying it's fine to do it. He allows them to do what they're doing, because if He wants to stop them, He could just stop them. But this time is wrapping up, and the Christ is about to come back to judge this world. He's about to get the green light from the Father in heaven. So this stuff has to happen, and the chemtrails have to happen, and all of the little weird things we see that's going on in our world that make no sense have to happen. The stuff with the target individuals that we go through, people always following us and all that stuff. This is just a preparation for the beast system. This is what's going to happen to everyone in the beast system, and they're going to know it just like we know it now. How we're followed and we're watched and all these things. They're going to know. Everyone in the masses are going to know the same stuff we're talking about now in this time period will be just prevalent all around the world. Right now it's the infant stages, just like it's the infant stages of the children of Israel's awakening, the Negroes across the earth that were spread to the four corners of the world. This is just the beginning. How I made a video the other day about how there's the people out in the capes and stuff that say Hebrew Israelites, and they tell them all the Gentiles are going to hell, and they're going to. But they also have, if you listen to them, they're biblically sound in certain areas, and that's how I came into the truth. Is that from those guys, watching those guys, and just knowing there was something wrong because the spirit wasn't there, knowing that they were off some way, because they say that the Gentiles are going to be our slaves in the kingdom, and they're but in the Bible it says they're going to be handmaids and they're going to be servants to the children of Israel. But it also says that the Most High God, it's going to be a righteous kingdom, a kingdom of love, but it's also going to be a kingdom where He rules with an iron fist. So if those that put you in slavery will go into slavery, but I knew it was more than just these people going into slavery and us treating them like trash. But then I knew that was wrong, and at that point I wanted to kind of turn off from the Hebrew Israelite stuff. But then I kind of something else. The words that they were saying, it was scriptural. It was a lot of it was biblical, but then it was just that aspect. I was like, maybe these people haven't gotten around to the full understanding. And then as I've grown, I understand. Now there are people they were coming with a half truth. There's a lot of the stuff about of course the obeying the commandments, and about where we come from and our history, how it was lost, and how we disobeyed our God, and all these things that I didn't know anything about. But that stuff was true. But the stuff about we're destroying these people, because they say a lot of it. I mean, they say like, okay, they're going to be our servants, and they will be our servants. The Gentiles will be our servants, but we're not going to be unrighteous people like these people were to us. It's going to be all in order. The Most High God's going to reign, and we're going to be His people that reign with Him, that help Him in His kingdom as the authority in His kingdom. But it's going to be a righteous kingdom. And anyone that does evil is going to be lights out because he's not having it. But the thing is, it's not going to be some satanic evil kingdom where we do exactly what these people does and we rape these people and we do this evil to get back. No, that's not it. So that's the part now in the Hebrew Israelite community, we're coming along around to that. You see more people, more ministers coming out. You see Christian pastors coming out changing and understanding we are the children of the Most High and that we lost our heritage and all. So it's the awakening it's a process, just like life, just like the regeneration of the earth. In the spring, you start seeing the flowers come up. It's just a regeneration. It's things happen in their time, in the course, in order. And so just like this awakening, it's like everything you're seeing is going on in the world. It's happening in the time frame it's supposed to happen. Target individuals. You have to understand that you have nothing without the Most High God. You're fighting a battle against people that are trained and skilled in the dark arts. You're fighting a battle against people that want to do nothing but do evil to you. They want to destroy you. And it's not just for the fact of destroy you to get money and wealth and all that. They want to destroy you because now they have tied themselves to a demonic force that only is out to kill, steal, and destroy. They serve Satan. No one would want to do evil to you like this and like to me like this unless they had another spirit in them. So you have to combat that with the spirit of the Most High God, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the name of His Son Jesus is the only way. I was going to tell you something about how they do in the world. In the world, let's check to see the time. In the world, how they do everything in increments. So if they want us to understand the idea, they put it in little ways first, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until their full idea comes out. It's like the credit cards. They make a credit card where you can swipe it, and then they change it, put the chip in the card, and then you push it in the system. And then all of a sudden now they move it to now you just have to tap the card. And so then next what they want to do is put the chip in your body because they move it in increments. In the NFL, everything in their entertainment, in any industry in this world that is linked to a lot of people being able to see it. A lot of the population being able to see what's going on, like large numbers, NFL, all the sports, all the entertainment, the movies, all this stuff. It's all tied to the satanic demonic system. And so in the NFL, a couple of years ago, you start seeing how the referees are making these weird calls. It's like every play is a call. What's going on? That made no sense. And then like in the Detroit game a couple of years ago in the playoffs, I know you guys, Detroit, Dallas. It was like they were making these calls. Detroit was going to win the game. All of a sudden, they made this call for Dallas. You're like, what? That didn't make no sense. The next week, Dallas went to Green Bay. Jazz Bryant makes the catch. And then they say, oh, it's not a catch. And everybody knew it was a catch. It's like, what's going on? That made no sense. And then in the Super Bowl, you got Seattle. They're supposed to get the ball to Marshawn Lynch in the 1-yard line. All this stuff was happening all at one time. And it was all just like the stuff that's going on with everybody coming out, everybody saying somebody's raping somebody in Hollywood, and this person's done this, and 30 years later they're saying, oh, this person raped me, or this 30 years later this person raped me. It started with Bill Cosby, but it's like they flooded. So when they want an agenda to happen, they just have an idea and they flood it. And they put it out there like it's real, but it's not real. Because all this stuff is to cover up something else. All that stuff was to cover up the pedogate stuff, with the child stuff. That's what that was for. But they do that all the time. They put an idea out there. And if they want someone to follow that idea, they have to flood it with their mess. They convolute and they flood the whole everything with the idea that they want. And so then now you will be more accepting of it when they pull it out in full force. It's like the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he put that idea in his wife's head. And it was a small, simple idea that caused her to change the direction of her. It caused her to see reality in a new light. She didn't even know she was in reality. That's how small, that's how crazy and how powerful planting a small idea into somebody's mind. So with the NFL, you plant the idea that something's wrong. Every game, something's going on. You start to question things in little ways, and then it seeps on to other parts of your life. And they are in control of everything that you see out here in this world and everything that's going on in the industries you work at and all that. So they have their agents working out in the street that are just there to get you off track, say certain things at certain times. Since they deal with familiar spirits, they know what's going on in your mind because of the familiar spirits. They these work rituals. They know the population. They know us like we know ourselves. It's not like they're greater than us because we have Christ, we do all things. But it's like these people have familiar spirits, so they know that they know the buttons to push. They know what we're thinking. They know what makes us afraid. They know what scares us. They know us because of their connection with the demonic realm. And if you have a population that's not praying to the Most High God to combat this, then there's no power. You have no power. So what's going on? They do it in increments. It's like that movie Inception. They put that idea in your mind, and then later on the guy had to change the idea of the boss's son. So they put that idea in his mind, that simple idea, that would destroy and take him off that path he was on to lead him on a new path. And that's what they do to us. That's what they do to us. You guys have to know this is a greater than just what we can see. You have to study to be approved. You have to study the word of the Most High God. You have to also look in your surroundings and see that things don't match up. You have to know that it's not what it seems. This world's not what it seems to be. Wake up out of your sleep. This is not a new year. This is still, who knows what year this is. But what it is, it's not the beginning of any year, because this is the winter. This is the winter solstice, and the new year starts in the spring. So, happy non-new year, and God bless to all my peoples. And I will be back with more content. Please like, share, subscribe. That really help your boy out to share the message. And God bless.